Hello everyone, greetings. It is Wednesday. What a day in the market of sell-off waiting around. Obviously, there's a lot going on here, and Open, Big Bear here, very much in two different streams. Obviously, Open is on fire in the right ways. This could turn into a $10 stock, or this could go plummeting down to a $1 stock by Friday here. Let's talk about it. There's things going on in the market in the next 48 hours that are really unbelievable that, our fathers, grandfathers have never really gone through in the market, and we as investors are going through this for the very first time. So let's dive into it. What's going on? I'll start off with Big Bear here, but right now, the big news right now is we need bad news on Friday. And what I mean by that is that essentially the market right now is betting that the job reports are going to be bad, okay? So if the job reports that come out Friday morning here from the feds and they're not good, or they're just at least, then that should clarify, hey, we're definitely probably most likely going to get a rate cut here coming up with the feds here this month. With that, the market's kind of counting on bad news. It's already priced in rate cut, all that kind of that kind of stuff. But obviously too, if we do get announcement that there will be a rate cut here in the next following weeks, it will drive up the market yet once again. So the other situation that's going on right now, obviously Trump's talking about his Golden Dome more, moving space stuff to Alabama, all this kind of stuff, talking about just the future of that. But two, there's this big deal that is obviously going on in the market as well with this whole tariff. The courts, everything. Will we have to pay back the tariff money? Will we not? Will Trump win? That's going to the courts. And the market right now is going, well, wait a minute. We've already kind of priced in the tariffs. We kind of like the tariffs right now. We like that money. We don't want to give that money back. So the market's kind of like, bond market obviously going bananas. Inflation's slowly rising up, but hey, job reports coming out bad. So we need rate cut, what's going on here? But as investors, where do we go from here? What do we do? Let's immediately go into Big Bear and talk about this right now. So, I'm still obviously watching Big Bear like a hawk, because Big Bear is very in the realm of something that happened here. Now, obviously, we're on a life raft right now. Is there any hope for Big Bear? I think there's obviously hope, but it's going to take something significant to really happen here with Big Bear. And I'm going to say things that are going to be mean towards it, but I mean it as like disciplining your child that you love. There's situations right now with Big Bear that it's got to get under control 100%. So right now, the thing going on with Big Bear obviously is those quarterlies came out. They were god awful. They were so terrible. I mean, they were, and I was one of these people where I was on here like, I don't think they're going to meet quarterlies, but I'm expecting them to be somewhat, close to, where they need to be. Well, they even shocked me and everyone else where they came out and said, actually, these quarterlies are actually really bad. So with that, Big Bear, the beautiful island of greenery that we were on, we were kicked off of it here by the storm, and now we're in the middle of the ocean on this little raft here, looking for greener grass, looking for a new island. In that new island is obviously a nice big juicy deal from either more airlines, airports, government contracts. We've got the Panama Canal deal. We need something. Big Bear needs something fast. And two, I'm really, I'm not trying to be, I don't want to stir up anything here, but, it's not like friggin' the CEO of Big Bear listens to me, for God's sakes. But, I look at those quarterlies that we just dealt with Big Bear, and I go, with those quarterlies being so devastating and investors losing trust with Big Bear and being kind of tossed aside here, that was a perfect opportunity for the new CEO, Kevin here, who's been with Big Bear, but he's just now been appointed to the CEO of Big Bear. That was a perfect opportunity for him to come out and give some guidance of where he thinks and sees Big Bear going in the next overall year. What's the broad view? What's the narrow view? Where are we going here? What are the hopes for Big Bear? And, obviously you can't get a CEO with every company that's very, just outspoken, very charismatic. You can't get that with all of them. But this is a situation nonetheless where Big Bear needs guidance with deals, with what's going on. That would really help the stock right now 100%. So going into the third quarterly here, that will undoubtedly be just in 70, 60 days here, less than 70 days. Big Bear undoubtedly, right now there's nothing to look forward to. That's the concerning part. Quarterlies will probably just remain at around this $33 million quarterly, which is far from what we need. We need at least to get to $40 million quarterly just to go like, oh my God, things are good here, things are kicking up here, but we're not seeing that, and that's the very concerning part with investors. Where when Big Bear is looking at investors, go like, well, we've got more to offer. Well, we get that, but there's no good news around the corner that we can see right now, and that's the concerning part. Now, being optimistic here still with Big Bear, trying to say good things about it, there's definitely more opportunity for Big Bear to walk into, hey, they just captured another deal. The good thing about the deals that have happened this year, and don't get it wrong, Big Bear's had a great year. I mean, they've had a great year. They've had a lot of deals, a lot of partnerships have happened here. There's no doubt about that. And two, this golden dome of Trump's, it is definitely happening, and I suspect that we'll hear more about it here in the following year, undoubtedly, because it's going to start the process of being built. Now, this article that I put up here, will Big Bear rebound to $10? I thought that was interesting because we still have articles talking about this, and articles are still very 50-50 on Big Bear, where they're kind of tearing it down, but still they're saying it's kind of saying like everyone's at the same spot right now with Big Bear mentally, where they look at Big Bear and they go like, there's something that could happen here. If they were just to capture one or two nice juicy deals, we could really see things turn around here, and that's where a lot of investors are right now with Big Bear, 100%. So the long play here with Big Bear could do well. It's just the fact of how long can investors last here to stick with Big Bear compared to how long it takes them to find more business out of the government, out of the airports, out of whatever they get themselves into. And, there's a line down the sand 100% with a lot of positives and a lot of negatives. But like I've said from day one here, it is a construction zone. It is a messy situation with Big Bear. But, right now my hope is that this Big Bear can at least stay in this $4 range, high $4 range. We've lost 5 essentially at this point. We'll see if we can maintain what we can. But, I believe Big Bear will have its day once again here. There will be a moment where Big Bear just pops back up and goes, hey, yeah, we got another deal. Stuff's happening over here. This is really good. I'm really curious to see what is going to happen with Trump's Golden Dome here, to where it really offshoots into a lot of our tech companies, especially ones that are already working with the United States government. That's the really big positive here, is that, a lot of the companies that are already working with the United States government, Defense Department, and so on and so forth, they're more than likely going to be looked at to go like, okay, well, we had this huge new billions and billions of dollars worth of this project that's tentacling, that's breaking off into many different tentacles of places we need different businesses and tech, all that. Big Bear could find a place in that. That's what we're hoping too, if not just some other random deal. But that's really the Skippy of what's going on right now with Big Bear, friends. In a nutshell, that is really it. I'm hopeful that Big Bear will find more deals. I'm hopeful that Kevin, the CEO, will start to talk to investors more and gain the hope of investors again. And that's something that's been lost and devastated with Big Bear. When that quarterly came out, a problem was made in that moment where investors went, whoa, I thought, whoa, what's going on here? That was a problem that was made. So we'll see. I'm going to talk about Big Bear. I think even if Big Bear bleeds down to $2 here, I still think it is a very interesting company because it's got government contracts, and more than likely it's going to get more. It would not take a ton for for this raft to really find a new luscious, beautiful, piece of land to come up on here. So yeah, I'm hopeful, but nonetheless, Big Bear is a dangerous situation if you're wanting to like hoard your money in it for the long term right now, because it could still take some damage here until we find another avenue of revenue for the company. That's just the skippy of it. Okay, Open. So this is really interesting what's going on with Open, and obviously, like I said here at the beginning of the video, it is a situation of we have to open these rate cuts 100%. With what the company is, their bread and butter, rate cuts are going to help tremendously. So this is what the push is all about right now on Open. And obviously, I can't say this enough, take profit where you need profit, because this is going to be an up and down situation. Today was a perfect example of that too. So if we can get into Friday here and we have the feds being devastated about job reports, like it's all out bad. It's probably going to push up Opendoor here to almost $6, maybe $6. I would expect it should be a good day for Open nonetheless, because it will reassure us that, okay, we're definitely getting a rate cut. We're definitely getting a rate cut here. There's no way the feds are not going to do one. That's kind of what everyone's expecting right now. The feds have been pushed up here against the wall. They have to pull the trigger right now. So with that, we're seeing this very teeter-totter, buy, sell, high volume right now with Opendoor. And there's no doubt that the stock is a meme stock. It's got all kinds of traders in it. It's got day traders, swing traders, option traders, long-term traders, people that are here for it. And, just because I say it's a meme stock, it is in no way, shape, form me saying that it's a bad thing to put your money in. There's a lot of money to be made in things that are called meme stocks, or just, FOMO plays, whatever. Some of the biggest avenues of profit that has ever been made in this market have come out of just, meme stocks. I mean, what are we doing here? We're making money. Us as investors, whether it's long-term, short-term, swing trades, whatever you're doing, we're all trying to do the same thing, make money. So with Opendoor here, it's a very unique situation that has just occurred here in this market where we're looking for a rate cut. Looks like we might get one, and this company needs rate cuts to happen 100%. So I definitely think that there is, very big price points that could happen here with Open. Now, obviously, this depends a lot on what happens Friday. Open right now trying to get to a $6 position. Today, we shot up into this mid $5 range, sold back down, went right back up a little bit. Great swing trades today in this. I mean, this thing has been making very open, shots here for swing trades. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did a swing trade in it today. I bought in when it fell to around like 10, 11 o'clock today, when it fell to I think I got it for like 502, and then I sold that position within an hour or two when it went right back up to like 522. So that was what I played there, and then I'm gonna buy back in maybe tomorrow if I can get it under $5. We'll see here what happens, but just taking that profit and just pouring it right back in and trying to accumulate much here, because Friday is a bet, 100%. It's a bet, okay, whether or not this is going to be good or bad, but it's an interesting play. It's an interesting play here. So, friends, long term with OpenAI, undoubtedly, I think it's a company that will find a avenue of revenue that it will continue to push into some big broad roads here. The short moment here where we find ourselves in the market on September 3rd, 4th, 5th here has taken place. These are key moments that will lead into next week and then the following week after that, where people position themselves, take profit, buy in, sell. But this is why I'm saying there's plenty of moments to find avenues of revenue right now. So yeah, it's an interesting play. Don't kid yourself. This is a very hot stock right now, and people are going to continue to trade it and buy it. When you go into threads right now, chat rooms and stuff. I'd love to see what, you know, the zeitgeist is, what people are talking about with certain stocks. And right now, you know, Opendoor is probably one of the most, you know, sought out plays right now in the market because of where it meets the market right now with this time and place of what's happening. So I'm seeing a lot of people saying this is obviously going to $10, $20, you know, all the way up to $80. I don't know. People are saying this is going to be the next GameStop. I'm not even concerned about that. And how GameStop was set up to what this market is and what's going on right now are two different situations. So I'm not expecting anything remotely like that. But what I am saying, you know, if we can find ourselves in a situation Friday and it looks like, hey, we're getting rate cuts, Open's running here, we're doing great, we go into next Monday, market's doing good because the market's going, we're definitely getting rate cuts. You know, bank stocks will be going crazy, ETFs will be going crazy, the market will be doing well. Now, obviously, we'll still be doing with this, you know, tariff court problem that's occurring right now. But all in all, going into the rest of September here, looks like we're going to get a rate cut, and Open here should do very well. Friends, I want to encourage you. I want to congratulate you. Say that you can do this. This market is achievable. You can make money. You know, even Palantir today had a really good day. It broke back up into the 60s, and this is just going to be the situation with Palantir 100%. It's anchored in that 150 here, undoubtedly. You know, I mean, huge swing trade today, by the way, with Palantir. I mean, you know, market open, it shot down to 155, then around 10 o'clock, it shot to 160 and some change, 161 actually. And then at the end of the day here, it's sold back down to this 154. So, I mean, like, holy smokes. Friends, I cannot thank you enough. I will talk to you soon. I wish all of you the best of luck. Let's see what happens here in the next 48 hours. It's going to be very interesting. This is going to be a very volatile market here tomorrow, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. It's like the Super Bowl almost. There's a big game tomorrow, and we want to see what happens. Friends, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.